stop doing stats out there.
Start in the front row with Bill Rabinowitz.
Yeah, and just stop the stats. We do anyway stuff. Could you, kind of just assess the performance in general, the run game against Sputter, but obviously the passing game is quickly. How would you kind of assess it overall?
Yeah, I have to go back and watch the film and figure out what was good and what broke down. But as you guys could tell, we wanted to come out and throw the ball more in this game and kind of try to get a feel for where we really are in the passing game, because we know we're going to need both here down the stretch. And that's a defense that I think is a very good defense. And they don't always get put in the best situations throughout the season, but like I said to our offense, I said, this is a defense that tackles well. They're well coached. Luke does a good job. And I think when we broke down, it was because we either lost focus or didn't execute all the way down the field. And a good defense is going to force you to work the ball down the field like that. They're not just going to let you take long shots. Even when we tried to shoot the ball down the field, you can tell that they're just backing up. And but it's good for them to feel that as well. But now that as we throw and catch, we have to be efficiently working the ball down the field, and all it takes is one play to be off, and you find yourself off schedule. And it was good in the first drive. We came out and found ourselves in a 3rd and long and made a great throw and catch to score. And then it's good to get a turnover early to get the rhythm going. But we'll look and see how the run game. To me, looking at it, we left some meat on the bone in the run game for sure. But to see us throw the ball, we did was a big step in the right direction. And I thought Julian made some really good decisions in the RPO game. I thought he checked the ball down for the most part when he needed to. And then his off-schedule plays were excellent to me. I found his checkdowns at times, but the scramble plays, like the one to Brandon, was really well done, and found a few other ones as well.
Here's Stefan.
Coach, follow up a bit on the run game there. We saw Isaiah West get some opportunities later at Illinois, get some opportunities again today. What have you liked from him and kind of the way he's grown on the depth chart?
Yeah, I got to watch the runs on the coach's copy, but on the iPad on the sideline, 2 runs I thought were good. One for 7, and I forget what the other one was for, but hit him good. I just kind of like the way, and then there was 2 guys in the hole that he made miss. So good sign for a young back. So we'll kind of see what it looks like and see where we're going from here.
I think it was 14.
Yeah, I mean those are good runs, and so we're going to look at everything and do everything we can to make sure that we're efficient and we're balanced. So.
Left, Rob Oliver.
Yeah, Ryan, the goal is to win the game, but is there any thought given to getting stats for guys ever in games like this, in terms of maybe whether it's for awards or Heisman? I mean, Julian Sayin was in there kind of late and had really good stats.
Well, I think we're still growing, so we're still trying to build on all of this. But what we can't do is what you just said, and that's hard to do sometimes because these guys work hard, and we try to do what we can to make sure that guys get touches. But when you start to focus on those things, you can find yourself way out of whack. I'm not sitting here and saying that sometimes we don't do that. We're guilty of that sometimes because we love our guys and we want to do that, but we have to stay disciplined, and that's what goes back to being unselfish, and that's it. Guys have to understand, and the number one goal is to win the game, but we're going to do everything we can to make sure guys get touches the best we possibly can, staying within the system and not putting our offense at risk of sputtering on a drive and not scoring a touchdown.
All right, next door, Cameron.
Ryan, you mentioned the team's kind of playing deep coverage on you guys, so you can't throw deep. That touchdown to Carnell, the first one, seems similar, and Julian just kind of found a very small window and just fit it in there. How has Julian progressed in those type of throws and kind of fitting things deep in small windows like that?
Yeah, I'll let you know how that one happened. Brandon was out, so that was actually going to be Brandon in the slot. But because Brandon was out, we moved Quincy over into the boundary. We moved Carnell to the slot, which he had not run that play in practice one time. He actually ran that play against Purdue as a freshman and got a big play down the middle. And what it was we were running down the field against a coverage where what we call two Tampa or tricky, and he stuttered on the tricky player. So it was a stutter on him, and then went by him, and then Julian got pushed off his mark and had to slide, so he was a little late getting it to him. And so he threw a good ball, but it was a little bit late, and so Carnell had to come back and make a contested catch over the defender's head, and I just thought that was a really great catch. Just that's an All-American catch, and so for him to make a play like that early in the game set the tone. But yeah, I mean those are the things, when you're trying to get it down the field, you got to find double moves, you got to try in as many ways as you can to push it down the field. But yeah, big time throw and catch.
Dan,
Just to follow up on Julian, for him to be, redshirt freshman, 7 games into his Ohio State career and playing the way he's playing, just how impressed are you with the way that he's developed over the years?
I'm impressed with his preparation. I sit in those meetings with Billy and he and Lincoln, and I just the amount of information that he's processing and those guys go through in those meetings is well done. And when you see it translate to on the field, that's winning football. And so when you just can take a meeting to the field as quickly as he can and then see it and then process it, is he perfect? No, there's things he's going to work to get better at, but man, he's got a bright future ahead of him.
over here to the right, Austin. Ryan, you've talked a lot in the last couple of weeks about Jeremiah and maybe being the best player in America, in your opinion. How close is Carnell in that conversation?
Well, I mean, his play speaks for itself, and the catch he made early on is tremendous. You see some of those catches he makes is on the sidelines. He's a great blocker. He is playing himself to be, first rounder and an All-American, and he's just a different style of player than Jeremiah, but just as dangerous and just as good. To see somebody who, has put the work in and, again, you heard me say before, put the dirty work in, and now he's, seeing a lot of the balls come his way, and he's seeing a lot of play. The throw and catch on the back shoulder fade, all those things are working for him, and it's great to see him, have success, with the numbers he's getting now, because this is a guy that sacrificed a lot in the past, a little bit last year, and had to, put the work in and then maybe not see the numbers and see the results, but had faith in the program and stuck in there and believed in the culture, and now you're seeing it pay off for him, and that's a great sign for everybody on the team, including the young players but at all positions.
Do 2 more. Dave Holmes.
Hi, Ryan. Despite the dominance, I know you've been adamant that you think there's still room to improve. So just off the top of your head, a couple things you want to accomplish over the bye that you feel like you guys could improve on?
Well, some of the run game, needs to be better, I think, but we'll go back and figure out what's going on with that. I think, we had the special teams breakdown, which we can't have happen, and that can cost you a game. And that was ridiculous. So, there are certainly areas that I won't get into because I don't want to give anybody anything to look at. But we know what our issues are, and we have to continually work on them to get them better, and then continually put guys in position to be successful. Because sometimes it isn't always the issues as it is. All right, here's a strength of somebody. How do we put them in a position to go do that? And in all 3 phases. So that's our job as coaches. Bye week comes at a good time. We can kind of get healthy here. We know we got a big one at Penn State at home. So we'll take a couple days to catch our breath and then get back after it.
And last question, Joey Kaufman.
Ryan, you talked at the start about you wanted to kind of see where you could get out of the passing game, how much
Yeah.
they could handle. Julian could ball 40-plus times a game, which means more than he has much this year. I guess what do you feel like you learned about is just the volume that he can shoulder in that regard?
Well, we kept calling him, so, he was doing well. I think he's accurate, he makes good decisions, and, when he stays on schedule, we can move the ball right down the field, and, I'd be shocked if he didn't grade out a champion to me. I thought he played really well in this game. But I will say we've been here for 15 minutes and really haven't talked much about the defense, who just shut the team out over here. So let's talk about the defense real quick. First off, to get the turnover early in the game was tremendous. And, we knew that they wanted to, we've seen them against some really good defenses just, run the ball. And we knew we had to stop the run in this game. And so we had, put a lot of time into that. And the defensive staff and our guys. And then to get the turnover early was good on the road because we want to be consistent. We see what happens across, college football week in and week out. So we can't have letdowns. So when the defense is playing like that and creating turnovers in a short field, that helps us get a fast start. And so we just kept playing, and that was great. But one of my favorite parts of the game was the way that we ended, and that's when guys are on the sideline and they want to, hold to the shutout, and some of the depth guys are in there, and everyone's screaming and yelling because it isn't about the score, it's not about the results, it's about the process, and that's it. And then the guys are playing for each other, and that's another good sign. So hats off to the defense again, another shutout. I hope nobody's getting used to that, because that doesn't just happen. This is a lot of hard work that gets put in. And give the defense a ton of credit, give the staff a bunch of credit. And obviously, our guys on defense played their tails off.
So thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. Ryan, bring up Carnell Tate. Right here. I got it. Start us off.
Carnell, when Julian first got here, about when did you realize he was pretty special as a quarterback?
I knew he was very special when he first got here. He throws a very accurate ball, understands the game of football.
Well, was there a moment, maybe in spring practice back then, that stood out?
When the moment I realized he can go was he threw a field hole shot in the red zone. Not too many quarterbacks can make that play, and not alone freshman quarterbacks.
Andy Anders for
Yeah, just take me through the catch over 2 defenders for the touchdown and what it feels to make a play like that.
It was just a great ball from Drew for giving me the chance to go up there and make the play, and then it just happened to be 2 defenders up there. I just went up there and grabbed the ball.
Spencer.
Julian, you seem to be getting more comfortable with kind of using your shoulders, evading some pressure when it comes your way. Where do you feel like you've grown in that regard and kind of using the pocket to your advantage?
Yeah, I think, if the offense calls for that and the play calls for that, sometimes we're getting pressure and we weren't having our back able to get out because he was in protection. So I think, it's just all about, can we keep the play alive and, manage and, keep playing to play the next down.
Chip Gilbert.
Carnell, your hands, you just go up, snatch balls, grab balls. Have you always caught the ball that way? Did you used to cradle some? Did you learn to do it differently, or just is that natural?
No, I've always been learning to catch the ball with my hands, and I'm just going to continue to do that week in and week out. That we always work on in the practice, and that Coach Hart always preaches on it. Always catch the ball with your hands, never your body.
Over here, camera Tate Robinson.
Julian, Ryan was talking about, and obviously that defenses are trying to take away the deep ball from you guys. Throw to Carnell seemed like a similar thing. It's a very small window, though, deep there. Just what did you see on that play that made you think, I can fit this ball in this tight window and he can go and make this catch?
Yeah, he ran a great route, got the guy's feet stopped, and then, was able to you're talking about the first touchdown, correct? Yeah, he got the guy's feet to stop and then, re-accelerate and just, put it up high, give him a chance, and he made a great play, and, that's all we can ask for.
Front row, Patrick Murphy.
Julian, similar to the question Carnell was asked, you got here, how quickly did you start to realize what Carnell gave you in the receiving game and player he was?
Yeah, I think, you knew about him coming in because, he had a great freshman year. But, just the route running, his hands and ability to get open, you quickly see it on day one, and, it's evident in practice and then in games.
Dan Hope.
Carnell, what would you tell Heisman voters about the guy next to you?
He's the truth. He's the Heisman winner. And ain't no question, ifs, ands, or doubts. Each and every week he go out there to prove to us why he's a Heisman winner.
Second row, Dave Holmes.
Hey, Julian, you go against the defense in practice. I'm curious what you think of the run. They're kind of on a heater right now, and what you see out of them.
Yeah, it's a very good defense. I mean, Coach Patricia, they do a really good job. They give us some crazy looks. So I think, when we go out there on Saturday, we have a lot of confidence, going out there prepared because we've seen it all. I was just talking to Coach Patricia in the locker room today about a look that, the defense gave us, and he was like, I've given you some crazy looks in practice, and, you're prepared for it all.
Front row, Bill Rabinowitz.
Julian, when you hear what Carnell just said about the Heisman, you're 7 games into your career really as a starter. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm really just playing one game at a time and trying to, do my best to, execute the offense and keep improving. I think our offense is all about just keep improving week by week, and, we're not where we want to be yet. We want to be playing our best football in December, November.
Joe Nugent.
Julian, how have you changed from that first game where it was a balanced attack to today where the coaches were comfortable throwing over and over and over again? A lot of trust in you.
Yeah, I think it's what the game called for. They were very stout in the box, and we saw the ability to take advantage of plays outside with the RPO game, and I think the receivers did a good job of spacing it out and catch knifing, and they made some great plays, making guys miss after.
Do 2 more, Stephen Means.
Julian, who's the better bullet to call for war?
candidate. The guy sitting next to you at number 4.
It's really tough. You know, we got 2 guys who, you know, when it's one-on-one and you're looking both sides, you're like, I mean, I have full confidence that both these guys are going to go score a touchdown for us. So it's really tough, but we have a great receiver room here, and you know, these guys make some great plays for us.
All right, last one for these 2 guys, and we'll bring in Caden Curry and go to Rob Olive.
Yeah, Carnell, coaches drill into you one play at a time, one day at a time, one game at a time. How hard is it to stay focused on now and not look ahead to future games, playoff? Let's just get there.
It's always hard. There's a lot of distractions out there in college football. A lot of teams out there are losing, and a lot of things are at stake. But then you also got to live in the present moment, and you can't affect the future. You only can affect what's going on now. So we just got to play football now, and then worry about what's going on now and what's in front of us, and not next week or a week after that.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bring in Caden Curry. Jeff Gilbert, start us off.
Okay. How important was this to get a shutout today, and how much did you guys really want to do that, even talk about it?
I mean, every week we're going for a shutout. Obviously, we want to be the best defense in college football, so I mean, we definitely don't want to let them get anything. And I mean, obviously, going out there and doing that is definitely something that is part of our goals.
And then the last stop, how fun was that on the sideline to see that happen?
I mean, definitely seeing the young guys get out there and just seeing how hard they work throughout the week and kind of getting that moment and kind of getting that chance to go out there and prove themselves. I mean, obviously it doesn't always go the way they want it, and seeing the way that they did want it to go and going out there and making those plays, it's definitely nice to see.
Right next door, Stefan.
Caden, Coach Tate was talking about how important it was to stop their running game, how much you guys talked about that this week. Why do you feel like you guys were so effective in that area and able to slow down that part of their offense?
I mean, just watching their film, you see that they are kind of a heavy run team. I mean, they obviously are kind of notorious for the run game. I mean, they've always had great running backs here at Wisconsin, so I mean, we've always kind of just seen them as a great run team, and we wanted to kind of prove a point and stop the run.
Obviously, you guys don't underestimate teams, but Wisconsin's offense has struggled this year, and you guys obviously have been really good. How do you go through a week like this to stay level-headed and not be too cocky? That way you can kind of put up performance like this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, these teams out here, they're always kind of hungry. They always want to be the team that beats the #1 defense. So, I mean, you obviously got to always think it's about us. And we're always trying to get better every week. I mean, if you kind of play down to the level of your opponent, you're not going to get better. So we're always trying to make ourselves improve. And as Coach Day says, we're trying to upgrade every week.